So Jeff brings up an interesting question about the sanctions and their role in all of this grain thing. And it's very important to understand that sanctions have what are called carve outs, right? And not all sanctions, they don't have to have them, but the sanctions that were put on Russia have carve outs for the agricultural sector. They also originally had carve outs for like natural gas and energy. And carve outs are meant to reduce the pain to the sanctioner, also the collateral damage, and they're often very there's a concern about targeting things that will have a humanitarian impact, right? And that's always an issue with this. So the agricultural carve outs in the sanctions against Russia, especially for the EU, have exempted not only food, they also exempt fertilizers, pesticides, all the things, the inputs to agriculture that, they're trying not to impede that trade, not just because of any impact it might have in the EU or the sanctioning nations, but concerns about what it would do in the rest of the world, especially Africa, how it would negatively impact food security. And in fact, concerns about food security have been a driving force in a lot of this. And it certainly was at issue with the grain initiative that was going on in the Black Sea, which ended this past year. And by the way, that part of the puzzle, which that's another video, the flows through the Black Sea, their interruption, all of this has played out because a lot of the grain going through Europe is supposed to be going to ports and then being exported. Now, in the coming year, we're going to see people may rethink the carve outs, right? Both in terms of what that effect of them, what the effect is on the EU, but also there's some evidence coming out that the impacts on Africa just haven't been as big as people were worried about. Also, we are going to see presumably we should see more Black Sea traffic as Ukrainians have been, whittling away the Black Sea fleet, and they've been creating pathways to get to Bulgarian ports. And basically, they hug the coast of the NATO countries to get out, to get to the Dardanelles, right? And so they are looking at, doing more of that in the future. So we're going to see how that goes. But this is a big issue with sanctions, right? You're always worried about the humanitarian impacts of them, and you're worried about your domestic impacts. And with Africa, we really were worried about very poor people being cut off from grain from both Russia and Ukraine. Like I say, that is a situation that is evolving, and this coming year may have a very different focus. So that's a whole nother video.